have you ever used a reverse hyper?
No.
You don't know about that?
No.
It was a piece of machinery that was designed by Westside Barbell, Louis Roberts. What's his name? Louis Simmons, sorry. Louis Simmons from Westside Barbell developed this machine that strengthens the back and actively decompresses the back. And what it is your body weight with your chest down sits on this bench, and underneath it you hook your legs to this thing that's like a leg curl, and you lift up, which strengthens your back, and on the decel, when it brings it down, it's actively pulling your back. And it's phenomenal.
Whoa.
It's really good. It's really good at decompressing your back. It's really good at strengthening all the muscles around your back to keep your back stable. This is the machine right here. We have one. Yeah, we have the Rogue version of it out there in the studio. I could show it to you after we're done here, but I love it. It's phenomenal. And it's great for developing leg strength and hamstring strength and glute strength, but really I use it for lower back, for decompression. Show a video, Jamie, if you would, so we could see how it worked. This is Louis. He was on the podcast back in the day. He was an amazing guy and very innovative. So he was a power lifter and developed some back problems himself. But you see how on the downswing, it's actually pulling your back, and you can feel it pull your back. So you can feel it like separate everything. You feel like little things pop in there, and it provides relief. And for him, they were telling them he had to get his disc fused because he had too much compression. He said, well, what about decompression? And they were reluctant to consider that. And so he's a genius, a fitness genius, and so he designed a machine that would actively decompress the spine while strengthening the muscles around it.
Whoa. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Have you done any decompression stuff?
I bought this thing that you like hang upside down on it. That, I mean, this was like a couple of years ago. I don't know if it helped that much. You know what actually has helped me a lot? I took up during the pandemic boxing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's going on is it's strengthening your lower back, which is helping you.
That's helped, yeah.
Yeah, you need to strengthen it for sure. This is better. Another thing, when you're talking about the hanging, you're talking about a teeter, right? Which teeter, I like that unit, but teeter makes what I think is a far better unit, which is the Dex.
Whoa.
And so we have that outside too. And what that does is instead of hanging from your ankles so your legs tense up and your legs resist the weight of your body, instead of that, everything hinges down from your hips, and you will immediately feel when you get down there, your back popping and decompressing. I use that every day. Whoa. It's called the Dex, DEX2. And, just buy it off Amazon. It's not expensive. You also could do back extension exercises on it. It's a very versatile machine, but man, for decompressing the back, I've never found anything better.
Changed my life. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I also use those kinds of things with weight. So what I'll do is I'll hold 2 20-pound dumbbells in my hands, and I'll do back extensions. So I'm developing strength around all those lower back issues. I've had a lot of back issues from disc degeneration from jiu-jitsu. 20 years of wrestling with men and getting your neck strangled, and it's like it does a lot of stuff to your back that's not good.
And you've never had surgery, right?
No. Everyone that I know has had problems. I do not know anyone that has had back surgery that's like, that's the best thing I ever did. Everyone, like Daniel Cormier, UFC champion, he's like, I was never the same. Once they cut my back open, it was never the same. There's ways to also deal with it with stem cells. And one of the things they're doing now, because the FDA has such restrictive rules on stem cells, people are going overseas and other countries to do it. And I have some friends that run a clinic down in Tijuana, the Cellular Performance Institute. And I know many people, including a good friend of mine, my friend Shane Dorian, who is a world champion surfer, who's had pretty severe back problems. He went there, and they're injecting directly into the discs. And there's a very strict protocol of recovery. You're not doing anything physical for like a couple of months after that. You can walk, essentially. They don't want any stress on the back, anything that's going to impede the healing process. He said within 6 months after that, all of the issues that he had went away.
Wow.
Like getting up in the morning, it was always like, just stiff. No stiff. Like a new back now.
Wow.
Wild. Yeah.
Wild.
And you could do that again, and you could do it again, and you could do it again. Like, it's not like a thing you could only do once. right? It's not like a surgery. They're going to go in and remove part of your disc. So they do that, the discectomy. They'll take a chunk of your disc out that's pressing against a nerve. But now guess what? Now you have less disc tissue. You have less cushioning in between your spinal column, which is not good. And this is a way that they're doing now that seems to work. And it's certainly at least worth a try, for people that are considering something that can have life-changing effects.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I sneeze, I have back pain. Tilting over a sink, putting on my underwear, it's but I live with it. Like, I'm strong. I'm the strongest I've ever been. I'm in good shape. But it is sort of my Achilles heel.
Do you ever do windmills, like kettlebell windmills?
No.
Another phenomenal lower back exercise. Great for the entire core, but it's you clean and press a kettlebell, and then you turn to the side with so if I'm holding the kettlebell up with my right arm, my left foot would be pointed that way with your knee bent, and you drop down like this.
Whoa, yeah.
And then all the way up like that. And so it's on both sides, it's strengthening all those supporting muscles around your spine, and it just gives you much better range of motion. I could feel things like sort of pop and move and twist around when I do it. It's great.
Whoa.
Love it.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Turkish get-ups, another one. Do you ever do those?
Nah.
Not a very sexy exercise, but phenomenal for your core and just your overall ability to move things. Because it strengthens all of the connecting areas. Instead of strengthening different specific muscle groups, it really is working on strengthening all the weaknesses in your system. You know how Turkish get-up works?
Yeah.
So you're lying flat on your back, you press this up, you sit up, you get to one knee, you post the other knee, you get up, you stand up straight, and then you lower yourself back the same way.
Damn.
Very, very difficult exercise. Difficult to do, but phenomenal for the whole thing.
Wow.
And I think one of the problems that people have when it comes to weightlifting and developing problems, and I've certainly had plenty, is that you're overloading certain muscle groups and then all the stuff that connects things together, the lower back, the neck, all these different issues. They happen because your whole system is not strong uniformly. Like you're developing strong muscle groups like quads, but how are the hamstrings? How are the things behind your calves? How are your tib muscles? How's your lower back? Like what's going on? What exercises have you done to make sure that your spine is protected?